Draco was a young helper on a farm in the kingdom of Montgrove. He had always been fascinated by the stories of knights and heroes and often daydreamed about going on his own adventures. However, he never thought that his chance would come so soon. One day he received a letter from Princess Rosie, the love of his life. The letter read, "My dearest Draco, I am in grave danger and I need your help. The wicked ruler, King Zorn, has captured me and is holding me captive in his castle. I am counting on you to rescue me. Your loving princess, Rosie." Draco was shocked and heartbroken. He couldn't bear the thought of Princess Rosie being in danger. He knew that he had to act quickly and set out on a quest to save her. He packed his bag with food, water, and a few essentials, and said goodbye to his family and friends. He then set out on his journey to the kingdom of Zorn. Along the way, he met a Mongolian swordsman named Kato, who was also on a mission to defeat King Zorn. They quickly became friends and decided to travel together. As they journeyed on, they came across a fire-breathing specialist named Blaze. Blaze was a mischievous character who loved to play pranks on people. Despite his antics, Draco and Kato found him to be a valuable ally in their quest. One day, they encountered a clever and sassy burglar named Felix. Felix was seeking justice for the death of his parent, who was killed by King Zorn. He joined forces with Draco, Kato, and Blaze, hoping to bring down the wicked ruler. As they traveled, they encountered many challenges and obstacles, but they persevered. They encountered fierce beasts, treacherous terrains, and treacherous characters, but they always managed to come out on top. Finally, they arrived at the kingdom of Zorn. They approached the castle cautiously, knowing that King Zorn had many guards who were tasked with keeping intruders away. As they made their way through the castle, they came across Princess Rosie, who was being held in a tower. Draco was overjoyed to see her, but he knew that they had to get out of the castle before King Zorn discovered them. They made a daring escape and rode off into the sunset, with Princess Rosie safely in Draco's arms. They laughed and cheered as they rode off into the distance, grateful for the adventures they had been through and the new friends they had made along the way. "Thank you for saving me, Draco," said Princess Rosie, looking up at him with a smile. "I knew that you would come for me." "I would do anything for you, my love," replied Draco, kissing her hand. "I will always be here for you." And with that, they rode off into the distance, ready for whatever adventures lay ahead. Draco, Princess Rosie, Kato, Blaze, and Felix had been traveling for days and were getting closer to Montgrove, the kingdom where Draco lived. They were all exhausted, but they were happy to be on their way home. However, their happiness was short-lived. One night, as they were setting up camp, they were ambushed by a group of bandits. The bandits demanded that they hand over all of their valuables, including the princess. Draco and Kato tried to defend themselves, but they were outnumbered. Blaze used his fire-breathing powers to scare off some of the bandits, but it was too late. The bandits had already taken Princess Rosie. Felix suggested that they split up to find the bandits and rescue Princess Rosie. Draco and Kato went to search for her, while Blaze and Felix stayed behind to keep a lookout for any other threats. Draco and Kato soon discovered that the bandits had taken Princess Rosie to their leader, a notorious thief named Gorn. Gorn was known for his cunning and was said to be even more dangerous than King Zorn. Draco and Kato snuck into Gorn's lair and managed to find Princess Rosie. However, they were caught by Gorn and his men. Gorn demanded that they hand over all of their valuables in exchange for Princess Rosie's release. Draco and Kato agreed to the terms, but as they were handing over their possessions, they realized that Felix had betrayed them. He had made a deal with Gorn to hand over Princess Rosie in exchange for a hefty sum of money. Draco was shocked and heartbroken. He had trusted Felix, and now his beloved was in the hands of a notorious thief. He and Kato managed to escape, but they were left with a heavy burden. They regrouped with Blaze and told him what had happened. Blaze was furious and swore that he would help them rescue Princess Rosie and bring Felix to justice. They made a plan to sneak into Gorn's lair and rescue Princess Rosie, but they knew that it was going to be a dangerous mission. They armed themselves and set out, determined to save their friend and bring down the thief. As they approached Gorn's lair, they were met with a fierce battle. However, they were determined and fought bravely, using their skills and powers to overcome their enemies. Finally, they reached Princess Rosie, who was being held in a cage. Draco and Cato managed to free her, and they all made a daring escape. As they rode off into the sunset, they were filled with a sense of relief and happiness. They were grateful to be reunited with Princess Rosie, but they were also worried about the betrayal they had suffered at the hands of Felix. They knew that they still had a long journey ahead of them, but they were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. They rode off into the distance, determined to bring justice to the thief and protect the kingdom from harm. Draco, Princess Rosie, Cato, Blaze, and Blaze's army of fire-breathing creatures had finally arrived at the gates of Montgrove. The kingdom was in chaos, as King Zorn's army had taken control and was terrorizing the citizens. As they approached the gates, they were met by a fierce battle. King Zorn's army was ready for them, but Draco and his friends were determined to win. They fought bravely, using their skills and powers to overcome their enemies. Finally, they reached the throne room, where King Zorn was waiting for them. The final battle was intense, as King Zorn used his dark powers to try and defeat Draco and his friends. However, Draco was determined to save his beloved Princess Rosie. With all of his strength, he managed to defeat King Zorn and free the kingdom from his grip. As they left the throne room, Draco and Princess Rosie were greeted as heroes. The citizens of Montgrove cheered and celebrated their victory. Felix was finally caught and brought to justice for his betrayal. Draco and Princess Rosie forgave him, but they made sure that he would never betray them again. The kingdom was finally at peace, and Draco and Princess Rosie were finally together. They were married in a grand ceremony, and their love was celebrated by all. As they looked out at the kingdom, they were filled with a sense of pride and happiness. They knew that they had a long journey ahead of them, but they were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. They rode off into the sunset, determined to protect their kingdom and live a happy life together. And so, the tale of Draco and Princess Rosie ended, but their love and bravery would be remembered for generations to come.